Hello everyone, welcome to one more episode of Shield Classroom. My name is Ram, I'm a cybersecurity specialist here at ManageEngine. In today's episode, we'll be talking about what you can actually save with a SIEM solution. What are the potential cost savings you can get for your organization with the implementation of an effective SIEM solution. Now, let's delve into what the gravity of the situation is before we go into the cost savings. Now, take a look at this, $4.35 million. This was the cost of a data breach in 2022. This is as per a study by the Ponemon Institute along with IBM. Now, this is an assumption over here, 5,000 plus alerts. This could change depending upon your organization itself, the industry that your organization comes from, the size of your organization. But let's assume for this purpose that there are 5,000 plus alerts that you get in a given month. Now you can multiply that by 12 and you can look at the number of alerts in a given year. So even if you actually take this down by a bit in terms of false positives, as a security analyst, all of you would be aware that a lot of these alerts are actually false positives. There is huge potential to save. Then take a look at this, $888 million. This was the largest GDPR fine that was imposed. It was imposed on Amazon. And the GDPR is pretty stringent when it comes to these fines. 20%, I should say 20 million euros or 4% of the total revenue of a company, whichever is higher, that is going to be the penalty that is imposed in case there is a GDPR violation. So the situation is pretty grave. You've got to have a good SIEM solution in place, and there are huge cost savings in case you implement a good SIEM solution. Now, there are three different things that we can look at when calculating the cost savings. You can look at variable number one, which is compliance. The second variable is operational efficiency. And the third variable here is impact of a breach. And we'll be looking at how each of these contributes to a cost savings. So talking of compliance, every company, right, will have certain compliance analysts, people that are responsible for making sure that the companies actually adhering to these compliance mandates, right? So if you have a good SIEM solution in place that is going to look at giving you these audit-ready reports, compliance-ready reports, you'll be able to know how compliant your company actually is. And maybe you can actually save a lot of money in terms of your compliance analysts who are working for you. Maybe you would have 5 compliance analysts working for you before you implemented a SIEM solution. But after implementation of a SIEM, maybe the number of compliance analysts that you would need would be only 3, because you've got some of these compliance or auditory reports given to you automatically by your SIEM solution. Also, your SIEM solution would be able to do a lot of incident investigation when it comes to compliance. So in case there is a violation, you would have a report that is readily available to you. And of course, it will also help you save on legal costs and regulatory fines. So the first variable that we are looking at is actually compliance. The second is operational efficiency. And here we are talking about the number of false positives that any organization may have. We took the example of 5,000, right? So a lot of these could be false positives. I know security analysts can totally relate to this. Now, a good SIEM solution will reduce the number of false positives. It can use technologies such as UEBA or anomaly detection. It can also, of course, use very good correlation rules that you yourself write. The number of false positives can be brought down if you use an effective SIEM solution. And that is going to lead to some sort of operational efficiency. The time that you spend on a false positive, while for one particular alert, it may not be that much. The number of minutes that you actually spend finding out if an alert is a false positive or not, if you just take one alert in isolation, it may not be that much. But let's say that you add it all up over time. Let's take a look at all the false positives that you may have had over a 12-month period. Then that number could be something that's ominous. That could have a huge bearing on your total costs. So that is the second piece, operational efficiency. How much a SIEM solution is going to help you reduce those false positives and the cost savings that you're going to have because of that, because you're going to spend less time analyzing these false positives. And you can use that time on more strategic things, on the more advantageous things. And of course, we all know that time is money after all. The third is impact of a breach. Now, this is directly going to be about your MTTD, that is mean time to detect, and MTTR, the mean time to resolve incidents. So if you can reduce this number, the total number, that's going to be very, very helpful for your organization. Every breach is going to have a daily cost associated with it, right? So the longer the breach, the longer the cost is going to be for that total breach. So if you're actually able to bring down that MTTD and MTTR, it's going to be very, very good. And the impact of the breach is going to be lessened by a whole degree, right? So what I will say is these three things: compliance, you've got operational efficiency and impact of a breach. So we can just call this C, O, E, and IB maybe, impact of a breach. So if you can take the compliance piece, add it along with the operational efficiency, and then you add it with the impact of a breach, now this is going to give you the total cost savings. That is how, as a CISO, as a security analyst, you can prove to your management that whatever SIEM solution it is that you're adopting is going to be beneficial for your company. So this is a very, very important metric to look at when you're actually justifying why you're actually implementing a particular SIEM solution. It's going to show you the real economic impact of a SIEM solution. So yes, this is about cost savings with a SIEM. This is what I wanted to cover in today's episode. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, please take care.